With school and work closures, some San Diegans are without their normal food supply or even income that they're used to feed their families. And that's where Feeding San Diego comes in. They're committed to help anyone who needs food during this crisis. So joining me now is Feeding San Diego CEO Vince Hall. Vince, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell people who is in need of help right now.
It's changing. We have been serving this community for over a dozen years, and just in the last dozen days, we have seen people who have never struggled with hunger before come up to the plate and say, you know what, I need some help to close that budget gap this month. And as you said, sometimes it's workers who have been laid off. San Diego has a big travel and tourism industry. Many of those workers are facing either reduced hours or they're not working at all. And then, of course, bars and restaurants and other food service industries are being affected as well. A lot of seniors who used to go to meal sites and have a prepared meal served to them are now quarantined. And so they're struggling to find enough food to eat or to be able to prepare that food into meals. And then, as you've said, the children who are used to getting maybe a school breakfast and a school lunch now have access to neither, but for the emergency relief efforts of many school districts across the county.
Okay, so what is Feeding San Diego doing to help all of those people? Because this need is only going to get greater.
That's exactly right. It is going to grow in the coming days and weeks and even perhaps months. And Feeding San Diego is partnering with 170 faith-based and charitable organizations across the county to expand our food rescue network and to expand our food delivery system. Obviously, Feeding San Diego has had to change the way that it delivers food to the community because having a whole bunch of people gather at a single distribution point is no longer a healthy option. And so we're using drive-through lanes, the first of which is going to open tomorrow for the general public. But today we started drive-through lanes in partnership with San Diego City Schools. And the children who were in the car got a lunch, they got a next day breakfast, and then they also got ample servings of fresh fruits and vegetables provided by Feeding San Diego delivered to them in their vehicles.
This is great. This was really the big debate for school leaders all across the country to close schools or not to close schools because they're concerned what's going to happen to so many of these school children not having the food, and you guys have stepped in to help that. So now there won't be necessarily pickup sites because you don't want people to gather. There'll be drive-through sites. You're going to let people come by and pick up the bags. Is that how it's going to work?
That's exactly right, because we want to make sure that we're minimizing any potential spread of the COVID-19 virus, and so that people never leave their cars. They open the passenger window. Folks who are using gloves and hand sanitizers are passing the product through the window of the car, and it minimizes any opportunity for the spread of COVID-19. But, you know, these kids are seeking to have their minds nourished when they go to school, but they also have to have their bodies nourished. And now the school districts want them to learn at home. But learning at home is also going to require that they start the day with enough food to eat and they stay nourished for however long this break lasts.
So for families that need access to that, and for all of the thousands of people now that their restaurant is closed for the foreseeable future, they don't know how they're going to pay their bills or how they'll put food on their table, how do they get access to the food you have?
So a great resource here in San Diego is 211. And all of the food distributions from Feeding San Diego, as well as those from the San Diego Food Bank and other hunger relief organizations, are available by calling 211 or going to the 211 website. We also at feedingsandiego.org have a map of the county that shows all of our distributions. We're updating it multiple times throughout the day. If folks click on a distribution near their home, they'll be able to see the hours, and there'll be a phone number we recommend they call to make sure that distribution is operating.
Vince, I'm grateful because I do have food. How can I help if I want to help? Because Feeding San Diego does not take government money. You do private donations.
We are privately funded, and we do not get government commodities, and we don't get taxpayer money to support the distribution of commodities. So any financial support from the community, especially now when our costs have soared, is really appreciated at feedingsandiego.org. And then please, everybody, look out for your neighbors. Think about the senior citizen down the street or in the apartment down the way, and ask them if they're okay. Check in on our neighbors, and let's pull together as a community and get through this together.
Vince, thank you so much for the work Feeding San Diego does. We'll put feedingsandiego.org on our website at KUSI.com. Thanks again.
Thank you.